Working in the pharmacy industry, safety is definitely one of the biggest concerns.
And if you've been to any of the big pharmacies lately, you know they've changed a lot in recent years. In some places, pharmacists actually work behind bulletproof cages. Local 12's Rich Jaffe joins us now. He's in Hyde Park with a view inside a very different type of pharmacy. Rich?
Rob, the big chain stores like Walgreens take lots of extensive measures to try and ensure that their pharmacists are safe, but they continue to be robbed, quite possibly because they are so big. Earlier today, we went inside this tiny pharmacy where the employees tell me that they feel very safe, specifically because this place is so small and old school. Prescriptions and advice have been coming across the counter at Tischbein's pharmacy for more than 90 years. It's the oldest pharmacy in Cincinnati and remains very much a family business.
We pretty much know everyone that comes through the door, and if we don't know you, we make it a point to get to know you very quickly.
That said, when it comes to safety,
it's always a concern. You know, the minute you open that door in the morning, you are checking behind you to make sure no one's following you in. Always.
The bells here jingle pleasantly when people walk through the door, buzzers buzz and cameras roll. But counters are low, and pharmacists talk with patients face to face right up close. It's very different from the big chain stores, and it keeps clients coming back.
It's very sterile, you know, when you walk in those places. And this is more friendly and not the pressure and waiting in line and all the insurance information and all that stuff. Everything is, it's easier.
National pharmacy publications offer lots of tips on how to keep pharmacists safe. So does the DEA, where pharmacists are told to do things like focus on the weapon. But real safety might just come from something else. Tom Denier worked in a big box pharmacy on Cincinnati's west side where they filled 600 to 800 prescriptions a day and had lots of safety precautions, but still got robbed. He says he feels even safer at Tiny Tischbein, and he believes keeping pharmacists safe is about more than high counters and bulletproof shields.
I think it's beyond the industry. I mean, you have to address drug abuse. Those are the people that are coming in and doing this. They've got an addiction. They're trying to feed their addiction. So for the most part, if you take care of that, address that, I think we'll do a lot.
Now, for a long while, we have heard that robbing a bank is not a very smart move. Number one, there's lots of security. And number two, frankly, they don't have that much cash on hand anymore. And pharmacies have gotten to be much the same way. It is unusual for pharmacies like this, or any of them for that matter, to have a lot of prescription drugs, the opiates in particular, on hand inside that store. In fact, Tom was telling me that there are some places where the cabinets that they take the drugs out of are on timers. So once they take something out of there, they have to spin it. It's locked up for 5 minutes, maybe more. And that means if you're robbing the place, you're stuck inside that store, which is not a good thing. The other possibility, of course, is if you spend more time inside that store, you could get shot and killed by a cop. Not a good idea. In Hyde Park, Rich Jaffe, Local 12 News. Rob?
And when are the bad guys going to know that they're on camera? Literally everywhere you go now, you're on camera. You can't get away with it long term.
That's absolutely true, but fortunately for all of us, they continue going in and getting on camera, and it makes for great TV. Rob?
Rich Jaffe, thanks very much. Turned out Indiana is the #1 state in the entire country for pharmacy robberies. That's according to the Indianapolis Star newspaper. From 2013 through May of this year, there were 367 pharmacy robberies in Indiana. Some stores robbed 4 and 5 times.